Good evening. My name is Peter Walsh. I'm a partner at Hogan Lovells here in Minneapolis, and I'm also the chair of the Fund for Legal Aid. As much as we'd like to be together in person this year, we're happy to be able to bring you this virtual event tonight. I am so proud of the work that Mid-Minnesota Legal Aid has done throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. They've continued providing services to people who need legal aid the most and taken this time to strengthen community partnerships and innovate to better serve people where they are. I hope you'll be as inspired as I am to hear about Legal Aid's work, especially for people with disabilities. On behalf of the entire Fund for Legal Aid Board, thank you so much for tuning in tonight and for supporting Legal Aid. And now, I'd like to introduce tonight's co-hosts, Vanita Sawkar and Julian Zebot.
Thank you so much, Peter. I am so glad to be a part of the Law Day event again this year. Peter, Julian, and I are so excited to be your hosts for what promises to be an inspiring and fast-paced program. Now, Julian, I know you've been deeply involved in so much of the work of legal aid since 2009. You're also the chair of tonight's Law Day committee. Thank you so much for everything you do.
Well, thank you, Vanita. We're so grateful that you're hosting our event again this year. Since last year's event, I know you're now the host of the morning news on News Talk 830 WCCO. Congratulations on that.
Thanks so much. It's an early morning, 6 to 9, but we're having fun. We wanted to be sure to mention that you can enable closed captioning for our program tonight. We have a lot of exciting things to share with you this evening. Mid-Minnesota Legal Aid does so much critical work in our community, helping people find safety, keep stable housing, and essential economic security. Tonight, we're highlighting the work of the Disability Law Center. The Disability Law Center provides free legal help for people with disabilities statewide.
Providing statewide services is an important part of the Disability Law Center's work, with offices located in Minneapolis, Duluth, Mankato, and Fertile, Minnesota. However, there's a lot of distance between our offices that makes it harder for people with disabilities to access our services. So tonight, we're raising $100,000 for a new Justice Bus.
Okay, Julian, tell us a little about what this Justice Bus is all about.
Fair question, Vanita. A Justice Bus is a fully accessible mobile legal aid office. It allows our attorneys and legal advocates to meet privately with a client or caregiver to help look at their file, complete and file documents, and print information. In short, it's a one-stop shop to bring services to people, which is a big benefit for people with disabilities who often have to arrange transportation. MMLA already has one Justice Bus serving our St. Cloud and Wilmer areas. It's been such a success and is constantly in use. But we need another bus.
I just love this idea. It sounds amazing. Our theme tonight is Stronger Together, which fits perfectly with both the work of the Disability Law Center and tonight's goal to get a Justice Bus. During tonight's event, we hope you will give generously to support legal aid in ensuring equal justice for all. Our goal is to work together to raise a total of $100,000. You can make your gift by text. Just text Law Day, all one word, to 41444. Now, so far, our fundraising is at $35,952. We have a little ways to go here, but I do have an exciting announcement. Once we get to $65,000, we will be able to unlock a $35,000 gift to get us to our $100,000 goal. Did you follow all that? This $35,000 gift is made possible by two generous donors, Joe Anthony and Ron Cornwell.
Thank you, Joe and Ron, for that generous gift. We are stronger together, and we hope you will join us by making your gift now. Now, as we mentioned earlier, tonight is about raising money for a new Justice Bus and celebrating the incredible work that the Disability Law Center does in communities throughout this state. Here are some examples of that critical work.
Mid-Minnesota Legal Aid's Disability Law Center, or DLC, is a critical part of legal aid's work in the community. For decades, DLC has worked to ensure that people with disabilities can live full lives in our community. DLC's groundbreaking class action litigation in the 70s fundamentally and forever changed conditions for people with disabilities in state hospitals. That critically important work continues today as DLC helps people live in the community, receive a full and fair public education, receive services and supports they need, and fully participate in our democracy.
We have our community services and integration team. Our objective is to find people the supports that they need to live in the community. So it could be finding staffing or finding necessary supports or medical care. We have our access and discrimination team, which focuses on disability discrimination matters. A lot of those issues deal with issues related to service animals and emotional support animals.
Legal Aid's Disability Law Center works with families and their kids when they're facing disciplinary issues due to their disability. When you listen to them, they feel already relieved because there's someone giving the importance to the issue they think this issue has.
The Into Adulthood Guide grew out of the work of our youth services team that works with young people between the ages of 14 and 24 who have disabilities. The guide was created to try to provide a handbook for youth so that they understand all the pieces of moving into adulthood. And we've also done work to create videos that are online to help folks understand their rights. One of our videos was created by one of our interns, Jean, about her experience as a college student with disabilities. And so that is a first-person account of what it was like for her. And that's also part of the project.
Working for DLC, it makes me feel great knowing that I'm serving the community. I'm helping make people's lives better.
I feel very happy to be able to help the community.
I feel like very privileged actually to do this work. It's very special and it's very demanding, it's intellectually challenging, and it's super rewarding.
You know, just knowing I'm defending folks that maybe were their last option or hope for helping and advancing their rights is really rewarding, knowing we're there to help.
It's just so great to see. It's amazing the difference that the Disability Law Center makes each and every day. Now we want to recognize our Law Day celebration sponsors for their support. In particular, we want to thank our underwriters for their leadership. More than 50 other firms and businesses also stepped up as sponsors. Collectively, our sponsors have contributed over $442,000 for client services. The support of business partners and individual donors is what makes it possible for Legal Aid to continue meeting the needs of clients who otherwise would not have access to legal representation. We also have 3 premier underwriters this year. Let's hear from one of them, Fredrickson and Byron.
I'm John Koenig, president of Fredrickson and Byron. The need for lawyers to provide legal services to the disadvantaged has never been greater. Like many of you, Fredrickson lawyers and staff do pro bono work to help meet that need. But the people on the front lines of doing that work every day are the lawyers and staff of Mid-Minnesota Legal Aid. The financial support that they receive from the Fund for Legal Aid helps them continue that work. Our profession has supported that effort in the past, and we must continue to do so. Today we can do that by contributing to the Fund for Legal Aid. Together, we can truly help those in need. Thanks.
Thank you so much to our friends at Fredrickson and Byron for your incredible support of Legal Aid. Now, late last fall, Legal Aid welcomed a brand new executive director, Danielle Shelton Volchek. It's been wonderful to get to know Danielle and work with her on moving Legal Aid's mission forward. We'd like to introduce you to Danielle and hear more about her vision for Legal Aid.
I am thrilled to introduce Danielle Shelton Volchek, the new executive director of Legal Aid. Danielle, I understand you love to get to know people through icebreakers. What's one of your favorite icebreakers and how do you answer it?
Yeah. My favorite icebreaker, Peter, is what movie have you seen the most of? Essentially, what's your favorite movie? And I would answer it by saying it is Gigi, a musical that won Best Picture in 1955, and I've seen it about 20 or 30 times.
That's a good one. Now, you joined Legal Aid in October. What inspired you to say yes to the opportunity to lead Mid-Minnesota Legal Aid?
Legal Aid does the work that's been most important to me for all of my career, and that's making sure that historically disenfranchised people and people in poverty are heard and have access to our judicial system.
And I know that one of Legal Aid's strengths is your staff's ability to collaborate to help people navigate many legal issues. Can you give us an example of that?
I can. We have many clients who come to us with multiple legal challenges. For example, a person may initially contact us because they've lost a job. And as we help them navigate the unemployment system, we may also learn that they are also living with their kids in an apartment with mold. And so our benefits attorneys will help to stabilize the family's economic situation. And then our housing unit attorneys can provide expertise on addressing the mold problem. Our broad range of expertise really makes a difference in identifying interconnected issues for people living in poverty.
So the focus of tonight's event is highlighting the work of the Disability Law Center. Tell us a little bit about DLC's work.
DLC is great, and DLC is a unique statewide program for people with disabilities who have legal issues because of their disabilities. In other words, they aren't receiving services and opportunity the law requires. So for example, the Disability Law Center may help someone get the personal care they need to help them manage the day-to-day, or ensure full access to voting locations, or make sure they aren't being taken advantage of by employers by paying them for fewer hours than what they actually worked.
Does the Disability Law Center only work with adults with disabilities?
Another important area of our work is helping children with disabilities. And sometimes the children are restricted in one way or another from getting a meaningful education or are suspended from school because of disability-related behaviors or issues, or they're not receiving the type of services that they should.
What kind of challenges do children of color with disabilities face?
Unfortunately, we know that behavior-related suspensions for children with disabilities disproportionately impact children of color. So this is a crucial piece of our racial equity work.
And I know that Legal Aid, including the Disability Law Center, have really focused on building and leveraging community relationships. Tell us more about that.
Our Disability Law Center already does amazing intentional outreach work in the community. We've included a focus on communities of color because the health disparities and outcomes are disproportionately worse for them. And we have really worked hard to build community relationships so we can be a trusted source of information. However, there are limits to what we can do. And right now, we do presentations, we hand out materials, and at a few locations, we can do one-on-one discussions. However, it's a challenge for us to consistently do that statewide.
So the outreach you've been doing, especially during a pandemic, has been really amazing. But as you said, there are limits to that. So we have a great opportunity tonight to raise money for a justice bus so our Disability Law Center can better serve people with disabilities statewide. Tell us how this will make a difference for people in our community.
Yeah, the Justice Bus will change both how and where we can provide both informational outreach and one-on-one services. Our attorneys and clients will have full access into our case records, the court's records, and other information and resources. And right there, an attorney or advocate can assess a person's specific situation, give advice, or help fill out forms. I mean, having a Justice Bus is a crucial way to break down geographic and accessibility barriers for persons with disabilities.
Danielle, this sounds like an amazing opportunity to make a real difference. And for all of you, this is your chance to make a difference. You can make this Justice Bus a reality and support DLC's work. You can text your gift by texting Law Day, all one word, to 41444. And from there, you'll be prompted to complete your gift.
Yes, I hope all of you will take a moment now to make a gift. Your support is so important, and this is such a great opportunity to make a difference in a very real way. As Peter mentioned, you can make your gift by texting Law Day, all one word, to 41444. You can also give by scrolling down on the event page you are watching now and click on the donate button.
Danielle, as the new executive director, tell us about your vision for Legal Aid.
Yeah, my vision for Legal Aid is that we never have to turn away any person who qualifies for our services. And the Justice Bus is an important part of making that happen.
So Danielle, again, thank you for taking the time for talking with me tonight. I'm excited to see all the outstanding work that you and your team are going to do in the coming months and years.
Oh, thanks, Peter. And I'm excited to be leading Mid-Minnesota Legal Aid at this point in our history. And I'm looking forward to meeting many more legal aid supporters over the coming months. And thank you, Peter, for your incredible service as chair of the Fund for Legal Aid over the past 2 years. And to say that it's been a challenge is clearly an understatement, but your leadership has really been critical to legal aid and the communities we serve.
Thank you so much, Peter and Danielle, for those insights and updates. Don't you just love her vision? We're so grateful for Danielle's leadership, and Minnesota is truly fortunate to have legal aid advocating for the rights of our most vulnerable neighbors. Now, immediately following our program, we invite you to join us for a conversation with Danielle. To join the conversation after the program, click on the Zoom link available on this website. The links are available right now where you are watching the program, well, right below it. The generosity of our community is what makes it possible for legal aid to continue innovating and expanding the delivery of services. We hope this evening inspires you to make a difference. Legal aid gives people help and hope. As we've shared, our goal is to work together this evening to raise $100,000 for that Justice Bus. Now, keep in mind, we just have to hit the $65,000 mark, and then we unlock that gift to get us to $100,000.
And how are we going to get there? Well, giving is easy. You can make your gift by texting Law Day, again, all one word, to 41444 to receive a link to complete your donation. You can also click the donate button on the event page where you're watching us right now. Now, as Vanita mentioned earlier, we have 3 premier underwriters this year. Here's a message from one of our other underwriters, Robbins Kaplan.
Robbins Kaplan is proud to partner with Mid-Minnesota Legal Aid to handle civil legal matters for Minnesota's most vulnerable people.
I helped 2 brothers from Mexico file their DACA renewal paperwork.
I've appreciated working on the wage theft team, where we help low-income workers recover for wage theft and employment discrimination.
I helped a Minneapolis teenager fight off an eviction so he could stay in the home that he grew up in.
We are pleased to sponsor Mid-Minnesota Legal Aid's 2022 Virtual Law Day celebration.
Thank you to our partners at Robbins Kaplan for making a difference. And the team from Robbins Kaplan is gathered together right now for a watch party. Have fun.
Well, speaking of watch parties, I know my colleagues at Maslin are having their own watch party, and I'd like to thank all of them for joining us tonight. Now, a critical part of the Disability Law Center's work is their outreach. Here's more information about their work and how you can help.
Outreach is critical to what we do at the Minnesota Disability Law Center.
We know that people in Minnesota that have disabilities may lack the resources they need to get, legal services. And so we're here to help and be an aid. We have created an outreach team that focuses on people of color, underrepresented communities, to make sure that we're trying to get the resources to communities that we may not have been in touch with in the past.
Our work now is bringing us directly into community where people live. Where previously individuals would have to seek us out, it's really being with people, meeting them literally where they're at.
We normally set up in fairs, conferences. We go to libraries.
We give out information about the Disability Law Center. We give information about the vaccine and just other information about Mid-Minnesota Legal Aid.
We are working to identify healthcare access gaps. We have also participated in outreach efforts at local community colleges.
I go to Dakota County Technical College twice a month. I go there with the Into Adulthood information. MMLA wants these students to know their rights.
The benefits of having the outreach events are just to get people to know who the Disability Law Center is.
We get people with disabilities that have questions, but we also have caregivers that have family members with disabilities that come ask questions.
Our presence there is limited by lack of privacy and time. Some individuals may require a lot more attention than 10 or 15-minute conversation can provide. People come to us with real stories and some very, very sad situations. Something like a Justice Bus would give us the opportunity to create that one-on-one space where people can have that privacy and talk freely.
Having access to the Justice Bus would allow us to expand our outreach to rural communities in Minnesota.
We'll be able to not only help caregivers, but then we'll also be able to go right to the person with a disability and meet with them one-on-one and ask the questions and give them resources. And having a Justice Bus will be able to do just that.
Disabilities is very dear to my heart, and I am very passionate about it.
I am very excited to be getting to do this work with the Disability Law Center in order to authentically represent the disability community in public health spaces.
The attorneys in the Disability Law Center are able to help people just like me get the resources that people in our community need, and that just brings joy to my heart.
So inspiring. As you can see, the Disability Law Center does amazing outreach in our community. However, their ability to reach people with full services across the state is limited. Tonight's efforts to raise $100,000 for a Justice Bus helps ensure that people with disabilities across our state have full access to legal aid services. We're asking you to give what you can to make the Justice Bus a reality, whether that's $100,000, $1,000, or $10,000. Every gift matters and makes a difference.
Now let's check in on our goal to raise $100,000 towards that Justice Bus. Looks like our total giving right now, Vanita, is about $44,173. Still got a little ways to go to hit that $65,000 marker.
I know, and that will unlock that $35,000 gift and gets us to $100,000. So keep contributing. Thank you so much to Highland Park Senior High Disability Alliance.
A big thank you to Jerry and Kathleen Albanese.
Richard Peterson.
Diane Ward, thank you so much for your support.
And Carla Glick for your generous support. Thank you. Let's keep those gifts coming. It's as easy as texting Law Day, all one word, to 41444. Now let's hear from our third premier underwriter tonight, U.S. Bank.
Hi, my name is Jim Chosey. I'm the General Counsel of U.S. Bank and also a member of the Board of Directors of the Fund for Legal Aid. U.S. Bank is really proud to support legal aid and the critically important work it does providing access to legal services to those who can't afford them so they can defend their basic rights and improve their lives.
Hi, I'm Neera Chatterjee, Regulatory Counsel focused on ESG. The critical work of legal aid supports economic access, which is at the forefront of U.S. Bank's commitment to close the racial wealth gap.
Hi, I'm Tara Adams, Labor and Employment Counsel and co-chair of the Law Division's Pro Bono program. At U.S. Bank, pro bono activities are one of the ways we put people first. We consider legal aid a valuable partner in our commitment to addressing the critical legal needs of underserved communities.
Thank you so much to our friends at U.S. Bank for your support of legal aid and our program tonight. As you've seen, the real strength of legal aid is the difference they make in the lives of people. I'm honored to introduce you to Tom Atkins. Tom's story is a testament to the strength of legal aid's clients and how Tom's work with the Disability Law Center not only made a difference in Tom's life, but paved the way for others.
My name is Tom Atkins. I'm quadriplegic. Broke my neck back in 1996.
I first met Tom over the telephone. He contacted our office because his medical assistance managed care plan was refusing to authorize a new wheelchair for him.
I was very uncomfortable. My standing frame itself was pretty much wore out after 20 years. The bolts were breaking down, so every other time I stood up, I had a bolt would bust or something. The pads were wore out. My chair itself had to constantly breaking down. I had PVC pipe holding parts of my chair together with duct tape. Decided to adjust up to a standing wheelchair.
Our bodies aren't really meant to stay for long periods of time in a seated position. There are secondary health conditions that can develop from that. So Tom wanted, and his therapist had recommended, that we incorporate that standing part of his in-home therapy in his wheelchair.
During the time I was working on my own without the legal help of Jennifer, it was very frustrating. You have to make a lot of phone calls. You have to do all your prep work yourself. And so all you can do is fight, and then it comes back, nope, you're denied. Your number out there, that's all you are. And your number is real low. There was a big relief off my shoulders once Jennifer took over. She helped a lot.
I would guess that probably, half of my caseload is people trying to get power wheelchairs with different accessories on them. I think Tom's case took us 18 months or even closer to 2 years to get resolved for him. It's unfortunately all too common, especially like in Tom's case. At the time he went to apply to get the new wheelchair, his old wheelchair was already breaking down. Tom and I had to talk about what his further appeal options were, and I told him he had a very, very strong case and that I thought we should proceed with an appeal. And so we decided, based on the different options we had, to do what's called a request for reconsideration. Fortunately, we received a favorable decision.
And the judge said, yes, they okayed it. So I got my chair. Once you get the legal help, like Jennifer, when she stepped in, it was like, finally somebody can help you.
Don't you just love those smiles? Thank you, Tom, for telling your inspiring story, and to Jennifer for making such a difference in Tom's life. Jennifer shared with us that Tom's case has already helped other people with disabilities get the equipment they need. Okay, let's check in to see how we're doing on our $100,000 goal tonight for a Justice Bus.
Well, we're making progress.
Okay.
Our current total is now $47,516. We're getting there. We still have a little ways to go.
We just have to get to $65,000.
Yeah, that's all we have to do.
We can do this. If you haven't yet completed the process of making your gift, please do so now.
And I want to thank all of you who've already given so generously tonight. Again, you can text Law Day, all one word, and your gift amount to 41444. Please invite your friends and colleagues to help us reach our goal.
Our $100,000 goal for tonight, combined with the more than $442,000 committed in sponsorships, would bring our total giving to over $542,000. That's huge.
So huge. Thank you for joining us tonight and for your support. We are truly blessed to have such a generous community supporting Legal Aid's critical services. On a more personal note, I'm looking forward to seeing all of you in person next spring at the 2023 Law Day celebration.
I hear it's a pretty good party. I'm looking forward to it. But first, we hope you will join us in a couple of minutes for the post-program conversation with Danielle. The Zoom link is below where you are watching this broadcast. Thank you for your generosity and for the difference you've made in our community. We truly are stronger together. Good night.